was out on the trail. So
Wow.
I had my dad updating me, and I'm like, okay, stop updating me. I can't even focus.
It was tough.
So sad. So yeah, there's always next year.
That's right. So get your calendars ready.
I know, right?
Put that in place.
Which
So
We
team?
had
Which team are we heartbroken about?
our Las Vegas Raiders were, we're Raider Nation over here.
Raiders.
Oh, that didn't hurt my feelings at all. Can't see Chiefs here. So
Yeah, don't talk to me.
Who is
and,
talking right now? Mute him.
I have a suggestion for everyone. If you vote for the Detroit Lions, you never get disappointed.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Being a Raiders fan has been like that my entire life too. So it's not like we've made it very far, but this has been nice to see them kind of succeed a little bit amongst all that adversity they went through. So Wendy, while we're on the subject of football, we'll really quickly highlight the cool strategy you had in the beginning of the season that got you like 50-cent leads.
Yeah. So, and it's funny because I'm actually getting ready for a listing appointment from a calendar. So, definitely, if you have a good team in your area, it's super easy to do. I just took a picture of the calendar and I posted it up in StreetText under, what did we do? Custom ad? I think we did custom ad.
Custom lead ad.
Yeah. And it's funny because when you ask people, hey, I got my Raider calendars. Anybody want one? Like everybody that loves them wants one. So when you're giving value, you get 5 times the leads. So I mean, I know we're giving value, giving them their home's value, but so does everybody else online. So I just kind of did that, and then it captured their phone number and email, and then we immediately sent them thanks for requesting a Raider calendar. Send us your address and we'll get one in the mail today. And then that went out text and email because we had both. And then pretty soon we had everybody's text, real emails, real phone numbers and addresses because everybody really wants it. So now they're just sitting there incubating in my system, and I'll send, like, if we win, I'll send like a little video out to all of them, and I'm like, yeah, go Raiders, and everybody kind of thinks that's awesome, and I get text messages so much from that. So anyway, but now I got a little group, and it didn't cost much to do it all, but yeah, the 50-cent leads, I think the max it went up to was like $1.75 a lead. So anyway, and then I did the same thing with Vegas Knights calendars. So
yeah, I have it on my fridge. And I would love to see if anything. I don't know if you've tracked that at all, and if any home values came out of that.
Well, we super stocked them, and so every lead that came in, we looked up on tax record, figured out if they were the owner of the property we're sending it to. If they were, we automatically set them up on homebot. Here, you're welcome. We're gonna tell you your home's value, whether you like it or not. And then we set the other ones up on a why rent when you can buy drip campaign, so that hopefully we can convert them into buyers. So and homebot, you can see who's active. They're active. They're looking. So they must be enjoying it. And then hopefully eventually one day they'll be like, oh, we need to go find that Raider girl, sell our house.
Well, 100%. I mean, and if they're looking at the schedule and seeing your face and, thinking of you as the Raider gal.
I know. I think we're on like 3,000 refrigerators.
3,000?
Yeah.
So anybody that's joining late, what we're talking about here is before the beginning of the NFL season, Wendy set up a sweet ad on StreetText, leveraging the custom ad funnel, and her value was, would you like a free calendar? And so it was genius because she got like something like 50-cent leads, and that included name, phone number, email. Automations went out with text message and email that asked for the address, and so then it was a complete information, cross-referenced the tax records, sent them the magnet in the mail. Such high value. So just another outside the box, outside the the traditional what's your home really worth, or some word about your home, would you sell it, or the equity ask,
Right.
all those are great and they work so well, but this is just another fun approach that we
Yeah, and I got the magnets from Magnet USA. They're awesome. And I've been getting magnets from them for like 5 years since Golden Knights came. So
yeah.
Oh, so I'm like a zero sports person. I don't know anything about sports. I watch
you really
forensic.
don't have to though.
I watch Forensic Files and Investigation ID. So,
PSI.
so like the calendar, why would they want it? They can't get it online. I'm just curious to know.
It's a super cool Raider calendar. I did the Raider Golden Knights because there are two teams, and now I think we're getting the A's.
What?
I think we're getting the Oakland A's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
It's hard to explain, Marie, unless, so when you're a sports fan, you just want things in front
Right.
of you. Like, it's just one of those things where,
Yeah, it's a calendar that goes right on your refrigerator
yes,
with my information in the middle, Monday Night Football on the back, and I mean, you may not like that, but
yeah, but your
people love
clients,
it.
So it's not that I
clients
don't
do.
like it. It's just that I don't know anything.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's what I mean. You may, yeah, but sports fans. And then like, I like to go just down to a couple of our local bars, and I hand out because they're like full of people watching Vegas Nights, and it's like, bam, bam, bam. But I like this better because I get names, phone numbers, addresses, emails. And if I just pass them out at the bar, yes, I'm still on all their refrigerators, but I don't really have that connection with them.
Got it.
So this is a pretty cool thing.
So, anyways, well, that's a whole nother subject. We just went off tangent in the beginning. Usually in the beginning, these masterminds welcome everybody. We like to just share. And so this is for everybody to share their wins. I know there's a lot of newbies here. So sit back, observe, listen to some of the veterans here at StreetText as we share strategies, wins, anything that's, that you're loving right now about StreetText, that's working for you, whether it's ads, whether it's your automations, whether it's your text message, your personal follow-up, hiring an ISA or VA, a deal you just got. I know Linnea just posted in the group, and she's going to come on and talk about in that second. She's already, got her 7th listing. So this is the time, to observe, but also ask questions of the veterans so that you can create a game plan and a strategy for the new year. This is a perfect time to plan and dream for what you want to accomplish, and really understand too the true mindset that has to shift with StreetText, with the top of funnel, with long-term marketing of this nature. So yeah, anybody who wants to unmute yourself, go ahead and we'll begin. And I can't see you all right now because I'm in speaker view. I can only see Wendy, so you have to just simply unmute yourself or just ask questions, guys. Or I'm going to start calling on you individually.
I'll go.
Perfect. Hey, Jackie.
Hi. For the people that are newer on the mastermind, I just want to say, don't give up. Sometimes it takes a little while, but selling a home or buying a home is a process, and they need to go through that process of, yes, I want to buy a home, or yes, I want to sell a home, and then kind of work their way through it. I'm 6 months in on StreetText, and I had to say, like, now things are really starting to pop off. Like, I'm getting listing appointments at 2, 3, 5 a week, and I think the time of year has something to do with it too. Now we're after the new year, and now people are like, okay, yeah, I want to sell my home, but just stick with it, because when you're first doing it, you're like, yeah, what in the world am I doing? And is this even gonna pay off? And then there's somebody that'll pop on the StreetText Insider Facebook page and like, I've been doing this for a day and I've got 5 listing appointments. Yay. I'm here to say it does work. Just stick with it. I'm 6 months in, and now I'm seeing the fruits of that come back to me. And I cannot say enough about StreetText. I moved from Denver, Colorado area to the Austin, Texas area, we knew no one. And I mean, no one. We wanted a warmer climate. We went there. Okay, great. Let's go. And this was my lead source. This and Op City, but Op City, you know, it's okay.
City
but-
sucks.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You know what? It's been really good for me. It's been really good for me when it was based here out of Austin and it was owned by not realtor.com. Once realtor.com purchased it, I noticed the leads just kind of took a dive. But anyways, StreetText has been my main lead source, and I'm just so thankful for you all, really, truly, how great it has been. And it is not, you know, it is top of funnel. You do have to nurture these people. You do have to keep in contact with them. You do have to, you know, link up on homebot with a lender so that you can send people individual videos through homebot, so they, you know, they can put a face with who's giving them stuff, you know, who's sending them all of this stuff, so that they can start recognizing you and feel like they're developing a relationship with you. Anyways, there's my little spill.
You are amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. I want to go deeper with you. I want to talk about
Okay.
I want to talk about the ads you're running. I want to talk about your nurturing strategies, your automations. What are your favorite integrations? Like, kind of just walk us through step by step what's been the most successful follow-up strategy for yourself.
So I am running one ad, one, only one. I've never stopped it. I've never done anything to it. I run what is your home worth to get a CMA. I spend $9 a day. I have not changed that. I take that back. When I first started, I was running $10 a day, and I dropped down to $9 a day. I tried $8, but that wasn't, you know, doing anything for me. So I went back up to $9. And I think that was in the first 3 months that I did that. And it just runs. I don't do anything to it. I have it automatically go into KV Core. The way I follow up with them is because we are a non-disclosure state, so I cannot do automated CMAs. I have to do them myself. I have to go in, look at the property, compare them to comparables. I send them over to homebot automatically, thanks to StreetText. And I put them into homebot, send them a CMA. Every once in a while, I'll get excited and go through homebot and see who's really active, and just send them a video through homebot saying, hey, I don't want to drop the ball in any way. Is there anything that I can do for you? Do you want to set up an appointment? Things like that.
Oh my
Jackie,
God.
are you calling them?
You know what? I don't. And I don't do anything with my address onlys either. And I feel kind of guilty because somebody put on the Facebook page, hey, I got a address only. They got my information. And so I am in the midst of, I'm getting busy enough now that I think I might be able to hire someone to do calls for me.
Let me show you guys, everybody, what ad she's running. And this is phenomenal. This is so cool to see. Number one, this is her ad, and she's done this on Canva with a combination of 4 images to the "What's Your Home Really Worth" ad. So it's not the map, it's landmarks in the area, combining that, you know, the idea of that 15-mile radius, and these are all these places. So it's phenomenal. Number two of what I want to share with you is, look how many comments, 35 comments. So social relevancy on that is insane, meaning it's going to continue to gain performance. It's not going to die because she's responding. There's all these likes and shares, and it's just awesome. I
want to say too, there's also negative on there. I haven't, you know, if it's like super crappy negative, I'll delete it. But If it's just, people being stupid, I just let them be stupid on there. And the more activity, the better, whatever. And you can see there's even people that have, did the laughing emoji, and people that have put like little memes up there. This is a realtor. I don't even know what that means. We're a bug, we're a pest. I don't know. But, what, let them put stupid stuff up there. That just makes your ad more relevant.
100%. And you can always kill them with kindness as well as gifts. Have fun with it.
Hey,
Absolutely.
Marcus, I have a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm running a similar ad like this, so we'll just kind of piggyback on, I believe her name was Jackie's. Okay, so this might be a little higher level question. I'm not sure if some of the people know how to do this, but let's say I have your ad running in ST, all right, StreetText. I'm running, this is probably a conversion or a lead form. This is a conversion ad, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so there I am, I'm running the conversion. Okay, I'm running this same ad conversion right off StreetText. Now, what if I went into Ads Manager and I quickly duplicated the campaign, but I made it a reach instead? So that way I could reach a lot more people every day cheaper. And then I drive, and then what I do is I take your StreetText ad and I do a retargeting. So I retarget with your StreetText ad, your conversion, to pick them up on a retarget. So I'm hitting more people. Does that sound crazy?
No, that doesn't sound crazy. I think Logan, John, anybody who's want to speak into this, does that sound crazy to you guys?
I want to be able to hit more people and then hit them on the retarget with a cheaper ad spend, but a more targeted StreetText type conversion. So I'd love your feedback.
So when you're saying reach, are you meaning a traffic objective?
Correct.
Okay, yeah. So traffic objectives does work pretty well. The nice thing, obviously, with the conversion objective, as you know, is that your audience is going to be incredibly targeted. So you're going to get more people that fill out that out their information as a result. Traffic, you may get a lot of clicks, which is great. And then you're hoping that you can then capture them through the retargeting campaign. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, so I'm going to turn your StreetText conversion ad into basically, I'm going to retarget my pixel and say, anybody that clicked on it on the traffic, now I'm hitting them with the StreetText on a retarget, because I'm trying to get, in my area, I have 120,000 people. So I'm trying to hit those people on the reach side because it's cheaper, and then snag them on the retarget with our more expensive StreetText ad. Does that make sense? Because it's a little more expensive for conversion.
It makes sense. Give it a try and see how it works. Usually sometimes traffic ads can work great, and sometimes traffic ads don't work great at all. But then the flip side can be true with conversion ads. Sometimes conversion ads will perform as well as traffic ads for getting the reach. So I would definitely give it a try and then see. The problem, what I've noticed with Facebook ads, is that the on the retargeting side, I haven't seen the conversion near the same as the conversion objective. So the cost of conversion may end up being a little bit more, even though you might be reaching more people. So I would just make sure you calculate how much you're spending on the traffic ad, how much you're spending then on the retargeting ad for the cost per lead that you get. But I mean, who knows?
I got it. I didn't think of what you said, because you're right. Like, if I understand now. I didn't really necessarily think of that because I was kind of not thinking about the cost of the reach side. I mean, I know it, but like, it's got to come down to the cost per acquisition. So,
because you're basically combining two ad spends together there.
Yeah. Got it.
One thing that you can try that we've seen working really well is to run the ad first as a traffic ad and essentially use it as a primer. So you can kind of go through and prime your area using traffic ads because the reach is so much greater. and then go back and use the exact same image copy on a conversion ad. And oftentimes we're finding that the area will kind of warm up a little bit.
Yeah.
In regards to retargeting, it is definitely something we're going to be spending a little bit more time on here in 2022. So we should have some pretty neat things rolling out as the year kind of goes on. And one thing that I am going to be kind of looking at doing, something I've been really interested in a while, is advertising in a similar fashion to what you're describing, but what I call a change of life. So things that you can run that are not tethered to the special housing ad category, things that we know like bridal magazines, or things that, you know, when people enter into, let's say, a marriage, oftentimes they are buying a home and sometimes selling two homes, things like that. So activities
Genius.
that come along with home ownership or buying or selling, if we can start running ads that are a little bit like that we don't have, that way we're not tied to the 15-mile parameter, we're not tied to all these impositions that are posed upon us by the special housing ad category, then we can take those individuals and then start retargeting them with home valuation ads using the special housing ad category at that point. So definitely some thoughts that are a little outside the box right now that we're considering. And as soon as we have the retargeting aspect a little bit more nailed down, we'll be able to offer a little bit more in terms of process instead of just a one-off ad. So definitely some things to try there. But in the meantime, what I would consider is to simply, as much as we don't typically recommend traffic ads or reach ads or post, engagement ads, anything like that, run a traffic ad for a day, at a really low rate. Don't do it at $9 a day. Do it at $2 a day, $3 a day, and really prime the area for a low amount. Then turn that one off and go back in with a conversion ad that looks the same, sounds the same, and you'll find that the area usually picks it up a little bit better. Now, really quickly, I did see that Debbie and Danielle had their hands up here for a while. So Debbie, looks like you were first on my screen. If you had anything that you wanted to add or question or anything, I'll pass the mic to you.
Oh, good morning, everybody. Thank you for having this. I just had a question because as a not so tech savvy person, I'm actually in Maisha's program, but I'm kind of stuck on a certain program. But just to say, trying to get into something new, I just want to know how friendly is this process for somebody that don't feel like they're really tech savvy.
I'll say we're not friendly at all, Debbie. You'll see kind of just from this alone, I think that kind of answers the question. This isn't a mandatory meeting, and yet there's 121 people on here who just want to learn and share. I think that's a huge part alone. We get people who are incredibly tech savvy, who've been, doing real estate forever, who've done their own ads. They can do it all, but they're just looking for a little bit of help or to pass it off onto somebody, delegate that task. We have other people brand new to real estate, brand new to StreetText, brand new to advertising. Everybody needs different help at different rates, at different levels. And that's kind of what we aim to do. We do a lot of group training and learning sessions and classes. There's replays. There's a million opportunities for you to find what you need when you need it. And especially if you're kind of new in StreetText, you don't necessarily need to jump in with both feet. You can kind of pause your ads, do the learning, figure out what you need as you need it, and then just build and grow with the system. But absolutely, everything that you need to do on Facebook, we just make it easier. That's essentially what we're trying to do. And again, the community aspect of it, I would suggest, is really what most people are looking for, or helps a lot of people to kind of get over that next hump. And it's collective learning, right? The things that you might not be as good at, somebody else here is going to be fantastic at, and vice versa. So somebody else might be struggling with something that you're great at. You're going to get to help them. They're going to help you. It's essentially, that's kind of what we do here.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Danielle, feel free to unmute yourself.
Good morning, friends.
Good morning.
I have probably more of like a tech support question. I have a lender who wants to partner financially on the ad spend and the annual cost. Would that be like, how is she going to get notified, or has anybody done that? You have a system?
The way that we've seen it done most successfully and easiest on everybody is that we can only have one credit card on file with us. So typically, since the ad spend itself is a little bit more all over the place, and you're going to be running buyers ads, sellers ads, and things that don't necessarily benefit your lender, what we typically recommend is have the lender pay the StreetText portion of the spend. That way you can just get their card in. They can take care of the StreetText aspect of things. You take care of the ad spend through your ad account. That way, again, oftentimes there's a a wink and a nod handshake agreement, if you will, that you're always going to be running a buyer's ad or a refi ad or something as well to kind of help feed them. But most lenders who are willing to partner with you, they just want you to do well, because if you're doing well and they're at all a part of it, they know they're going to reap the rewards at the end of the day as well. So I would like to run typically, the upgrade downsize ad or something that's bringing in buyers as well, so that you can keep feeding them something. But then I would recommend, you pay the ad cost and then have them pay your StreetText portion. That's probably the easiest setup.
And then all of the workflows are just going to be on the user account, and then it would just be on us to essentially either build out the workflow or communicate with them to send them to the lender.
Exactly. Yeah, and there's so many different ways to do that. You can use Zapier. You can have you can give them full access to the account if that's what you guys want to do. So many different things that we can do. I mean, most of us coaches as well, or guides, whatever, we have the ability to meet with you guys individually or together to make sure that you guys both getting what you're looking for out of the system, of course. But yeah, that's a very typical setup with us here, and it usually goes really well.
Can you zap per ad?
Yes.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I actually I have one other individual who's controlling 4 areas. There's a little trick to it. It's all in the tagging system, and something we can go into in depth with down the road. But yeah, absolutely, you have the ability to then set specific tags into the different ads, so that when the lead hits Zapier, it can be filtered based on the tag, whether it's buyer, seller, and or location, and or whatever you want. You can add specific tags to all of them.
Thank you.
Danielle, you can also set up your email so that any correspondence coming from StreetText, any lead, is forwarded to your lender.
But then they would get every email. So if we're running a bunch of emails or ads, that don't benefit them, then their email is going to get clogged up.
True.
Yeah.
One of the other quick thoughts that I would give you is, if you're allowed to add them as an admin to your StreetText, but make sure homebot is running. All the leads that come through, load them in homebot, and on the lender's side of that, if they want to be in there for that, they can check the daily activity. They get all the inquiries about refinancing options, things like that, and then they can just come in on your StreetText daily, go in there and look at the information, have access to your contacts if you want to do that, since they're paying for them all. So that's just a quick fix to something like that, without them getting all the emails and everything to their account.
Awesome. Let me quickly go back to, sharing the ad performance and health review that we have. But the ad itself, what I wanted to share about Jackie is, if you look, she hasn't turned off her ad. And so I find there's a lot of people that spend entirely way too much time just sitting in the split test and the A/B testing of these funnels. What I love about what I'm seeing from Jackie here is that you can see $2,123. You can see 1,277 leads that have come in through that. 446 of those providing emails as well. $1.18 lifetime cost per click. So pretty phenomenal there too, and you can see a super high click to contact ratio, 1277 out of 1805. And so again, once you jump on that ship and that momentum and social interaction starts happening, the idea is put yourself through this funnel. Like the idea is, okay, I have a good ad performance, awesome. What's next? Let me figure out what they're seeing, what they're getting, what they're receiving. That's where you can click view link. So you can kind of get a good idea between the ad itself into the landing pages. Remember, you're seeing this on desktop. Most people, 99% of them, are seeing it on their mobile phones. So the grainy nature of this won't matter, because they wouldn't see it like that. It would be shrunken to their phones. They'd click analyze my property, and then the dynamic nature of this happens. And so I throw in my address, and immediately that goes into my dashboard. And so Jackie has decided, hey, I got so many addresses right now, I don't know what to do with it. Others, I have seen amazing strategies with those address onlys. Trace systems, mailers, I know anyone who's on the Mayshore method, 25 CMA drop-off opportunities, boom, there you go, right? So you can start looking at that way. This is where the rubber hits the road for at least the automation standpoint. As soon as they submit their email and they provide that email permission, that automatically activates the autoresponder, the email, right? And of course, what do we want to get in there? Well, a video with yourself in there, automatically sending out. BombBomb is kind of our favorite integration that way, because that'll automatically send out. Everything else is the icing on the cake. The condition of the property, age, updates, renovations that they could provide, sell date, right? But at least if they don't get to this point, if they don't share this information, you have that automatic email going out. That's where the homebot and all that stuff is going to be of great service to you. Most people will say just curious. Again, defense mechanism happening there, right? They don't know who you are, what this is. Remember, when you go back to the ad itself, no one's looking at that tiny picture. They're scrolling down their feed. You know what the attention span of a goldfish, 3 seconds. No one's looking for your services. So they're there, they see that, they want that value. They click next. This is top of funnel. This is digital door knocking. Remember, this is not, I'm looking for you. This is going to be all about service and contribution and giving value and building that know, like, and trust model, and serve, 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 not sell, sell, sell. Serve, serve, serve. This is where the phone number is collected. If they get to that point, that automatically activates the text message. So if anybody's in trial right now, you wouldn't have the text messages going out. You probably won't even have this funnel yet, because you have to create a custom domain for this funnel. So that'll be something to consider if you're in trial right now and you haven't set up your full account. And then when you get to, I mean, everything else is, you know, they could set an appointment, but that's the idea of that particular funnel. And then you start working on the fun part, which is your follow-up, the automations, the integrations, you know, how that all is going to flow. And give yourself some grace, because you're not going to learn this all in one day. It's going to take some time to refine that and put your systems and processes in place. And just ask any one of our veterans here. I can call on Jeff right now because I can see him right now. And he'll stand by the idea of build your systems, build your process, talk to the community, see what they're all doing and how they're doing it. Because once your leads start flowing in, it's hot and heavy. It's like a fire hose. So you don't want to just backpedal. Rather, sometimes it's great to set up that test, immediately pause those ads, and start working on your automations, get your email signature, get some videos in there. You know, Linnea, if she's here, has phenomenal ideas. Like, she's done about 7 or 8 videos throughout her 9-month-long drip email campaign. And you'll see some CMA strategies that people are using. And, you know, you just find ways to be you, your personality, scale and leverage, and you learn within time.
Yeah, hey Marcus, and I've done it before, but I can't stress enough the importance, especially for the newer people, of having your systems in place before you're up and running. Because as you say, once you get started and those leads start coming in, if you don't have your systems in place, you're playing catch-up ball. And you don't want to have to pause your leads. You don't want to have to stop and restart. So that's why, especially these masterminds are great sources of systems. Whether you use the StreetText automation, whether you set up your own action plans on your CRMs, it doesn't really matter how you do it. It just matters that you do it, and you do it before you push that button and get your leads started.
Awesome, Jeff. I got Carrie, followed by Emily with questions. So go ahead, Carrie, and then Emily, you're next. And then Manish. And then Cynthia.
Okay. Yeah. So this is Carrie. I'm just wondering, so I attended yesterday's Chris's call where you were on, and so I've not signed up yet, and I'm just trying to figure out, you know, the whole system and what it is really. So what do you connect? So you run this ad, whether it's a, you know, shows a map or like the pictures. I liked what she had with the pictures of the town, to get people to click on it. But then where does it go from there? What are you connecting for them to get their home's value?
Good question. Who wants to answer that? There's a lot of different
Because she
ways.
talked about my ad, I'll go ahead and answer that.
Yeah.
Mine is connected to several different things. One, to my CRM. It doesn't matter what CRM you use, to your CRM, so that you can keep track of them. The second place mine's connected to is homebot, which is a platform where you can send out a CMA to them. It gets automatically followed up every month with them. It sends it out automatically, which is nice. You can also partner with a lender on that. And then you have video capabilities of text messaging or emailing them. I think it's just emailing, I'm sorry, videos, but you have to partner with a lender to do that. And then also I have it hooked up to BombBomb so that I can send text and email BombBomb videos. So that's where mine is hooked up. Oh, one more place I just added is Link You, because everybody was talking about retargeting. I just signed up with Link You to retarget all of my incoming and anybody that comes into my systems.
Okay, so yeah. So, but where is it connected to actually give them the value? Is it through homebot, which literally will, based on their address, will give them an estimated value?
I believe so. We're a non-disclosure state, so it doesn't do that here in Texas. Okay. Anybody else want to say, does yours automatically give them a CMA that's fairly accurate?
I'll jump in. I put them in a homebot, but I always, now homebot does generate a automated, for for disclosure states, as she's saying. But now for me myself, I still go in and I still run the numbers myself, and I update the homebot to reflect a total as much as I can. Now sometimes I might go ahead and use their automated number they come up with if time doesn't allot, but mostly I run the numbers and I update in homebot to increase the value of what I'm providing.
Hey Marcus, I'll jump in on that as well. I'm in Chris's program. I actually do the full custom CMA, guys. So I do the entire CMA drop off to the leads that come in through StreetText. I evaluate them based on the criteria that I have. I'll either do a virtual CMA out to them if I have an email, or I'll do a complete drop off box and everything if I have everything to send out to them. So I kind of look at it both ways. It gets a little bit expensive to do everything. So I kind of look at the ones I really want to go after, and those are the ones I send the box out to. But I do a custom CMA for my leads.
Something to consider as well, just really quick, guys. If anybody who's using BombBomb as well, consider doing a virtual CMA, right? Where you're doing a screen record CMA. You don't have to provide anywhere near as much information. It's not so much the information isn't the star. You're just trying to put yourself in front of them, giving them, valuable information. So if you can bring up a screen record, show their home on MLS, talk about, go through their home before they bought it, 5 years, 6 years, 10 years ago. There's definitely some renovations that they've made that you can kind of quickly talk about. Hopefully they've responded to you with some of these renos, something like that. And you can use that. Hey, thanks for telling me you've done a $15,000 renovation to the kitchen. Obviously, based on the information I would have had otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to see that, and thus I wouldn't have been able to add that to your value. So thanks for that. Thank them for whatever they've given you. But then walk through some comparables. Look at a recently sold comparable. I can't tell you exactly what your home's going to sell for until I see it for myself, of course. However, 4-bed, 3-bath homes just like yours in the such and such neighborhood are currently selling at this rate. It listed at $873 and it sold 32 days later for $1.2 million. Well, why was the increase? Well, low interest rates, lots of bidding wars, yada yada. Talk about what you want to talk about, then go into a couple recently listeds, right? Then go into, if you want to, go into realtor.com and Zillow, and then talk about, even Zillow's learned why not, they can't trust their own estimates, right? We don't trust online recommendations any longer. This is what we're here for. Unlike Zillow, I'm willing to come to your home and do a proper professional job for you. That way, establish and set a proper baseline. Even if you're using HomeBot, right? Even HomeBot's not going to get it right. However, if we come and do a proper professional job, then we feed those values into your HomeBot. Now it's going to be updating at a proper amount. So that would be my recommendation. Consider doing things like that, where you're using video and putting yourself in front of these people as a real person. I think that would
Hey,
be
guy. Hey, Logan, it's Janki. I wanted to also chime in. Hey, I'm listening to everything in the back end, and I said, okay, I need to join this meeting because one of the recommendations I can give you guys is come from contribution. I just texted Manny that in the chat box. Come from contribution, send them a one-page CMA. I'm a big fan of that because when you're sending them the one-page CMA, they get to see the market data. don't run after the listing, don't run after the lead, don't chase the lead, because they're going to get turned off and just say, okay, I'm not interested in you coming to my home. So you just lost that opportunity. So come from contribution and send them a one-page CMA is a highly recommended. And how do you get that? You can get that from your I do it from my MLS system. I can email it to them and say, hey guys, I have this information for you. And I just wanted to let you know that this is the market data. Second week, I send them an update of what just sold in their market, in their neighborhood. Third week, so I'm always giving them what they want. It's a system, right?
That's so smart, Janky. And again, even if you're, regardless of what you're giving them, if you do that screen record CMA, same thing. Like you can put together an RPR report, you can put together the one pager, you can put together a few pieces of information like that, and then quickly, briefly touch on it as your sign off, right? Here, I just wanted a tangible takeaway to leave with you here. While you're going through this report, there might be a few, some terminology you're not incredibly familiar with. Let me just tell you what the difference between average and median price is. Something like that, anything that's on there that they might not fully understand, I think quickly touching on that would be smart.
And we also do something like a glossary of terms, right? We give them a glossary of terms just to let them know. And then like at the bottom, we'll put charts, graphs of a little icons to say, okay, this is what this means. This is what this means. This is what this means. So they know exactly. And follow-up is key, because we follow up every week with them, not by asking them for the business, but we give them updated info. Give.
I love it. Janky, I have one thing that might be a great creative idea and opportunity for everybody too. I just got in the mail my property assessment, and I found out that my value changed 74% from last year.
I'm telling you, yep. It just
74%. The average in the area that I live in was 33%, but 74%. Can you imagine if you lead with that? The market change in 2021 to now, and how the market has shifted. I mean, that in itself could be like, because we all know that's happening.
And people want to know, guys. People want to know, hey, what is it? Even if they don't ask for it, provide it. You know why? Because they will keep you in mind when they are ready, or if their neighbor is looking to sell. Hey, I just have this great person, great realtor who continuously sends me information every other week or every 2 times a month, and call her. She's amazing. That's how we got our last referral. And that was a StreetText lead, right? So market update report, CMA, one-page CMA, give them information. It's a system. It's a follow-up system.
Awesome. Janky, I really
once you send that email out, though, I would recommend strongly, if you have their number, text them from your phone, because you're not always assured that email is their primary email. Everybody's got a junk one. So what I do is, when I send out, I do one out of MLS, and I don't save it as something to keep running to them. I send them out of MLS. Unless they ask specifically for their house, it's like Jennifer Salter said, send them something. They're there for a reason. So I'll send out a market activity snapshot of the neighborhood. If it's just a curious or whatever, if it's immediately or they request for their home, I will send the one page for their home out of the MLS. I still send them a homebot, but then I text them so that I can go ahead and know that they're going to get it, because the text response is greater than the email. And then those running iPhones, if it's blue, they've got an iPhone, so you've got other ways to get a hold of them if the email's shaky, and it's just easier to track. But definitely text behind it.
I totally agree with you, Leon. And this is I'll give you guys one of the things that we do. We do text, email, AI, and we drop off, right? If we can, the drop off comes last. So we send an email out, we send a video email out, just saying, hey, we just sent you a CMA. Now, remember, I'm not a big fan of video because none of my engineer clients like to open it. So I'm back to square one. So we do a text saying, hey, just want to let you know that we sent out a CMA, a comparable analysis, just for your information. All right. The way you say it to them matters also. Second, we send out an email again. So it's a process. We just don't do one time. We actually are consistent in a follow-up process with them. Hey, did you receive our email? Hey, did you receive our CMA? Just want to make sure that you're in the loop of what's going on in your neighborhood. Oh, by the way, I want to let you know that 2 doors down, the 2 streets down, someone just listed their home. It seems to be matching your criteria of a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. I just wanted to give you a heads up, right? Hey, I'm not asking for the business. I just want to stay in touch with you, right? So that's the kind of emails, or that's the kind of text messages that should be going out. And they will respond. They'll say either I'm not ready yet, or they'll say I'm not interested. I just wanted information. You just provided it to them, right? Put them on a 12-month smart plan. Done. Follow up with them every 3 to 6 months.
Bam. There's your plan. Emily, Manish, and then Cynthia. Go ahead.
My question is kind of an answer. So I've been in this now for about a month, and I joined this the same time I joined Krista's program. So it was a lot of new at the same time. And now I'm kind of working through the kinks, and I've got the follow-up systems in place, but and this could have been I may have heard it wrong in the beginning, but I heard don't call them. They didn't ask for a phone call. They just asked for, give them what they asked for, they just enter their information. So it's weird to call them. But the longer I've been here, the more I've heard speak to lead, call them within 5 minutes. And so I'm just, just wanting to find from people who've been doing this, like the best practices. I don't have the ability to call everybody within 5 minutes because my day is so crazy and I'm a solo agent. So then I was like, well, should I outsource that? So I'm just very torn on how to not, I feel like I am throwing money down the drain because I'm getting these leads and I'm not getting the engagement yet that I want. And again, maybe that's just being patient and continuing to provide value. I don't know.
Okay, so I don't want to be the only one. I can't see anyone right now because I'm on my phone doing this. So if anyone like Jeff or Leon or anyone wants to say something, please stop me. But the way I do it, Emily, is for my buyer ads. I definitely have ISAs and I have outsources. That's where speed to lead matters, right? But for my sellers, I don't want to take that approach because they're non-approachable when it comes to phone calls, right, Jeff? Leon, would you agree with me? Because I just think in the way I've seen success with my business is that when I call those leads that are seller leads, I just don't get them. And I don't want to bother them. I just want to be able to provide to them what they're looking for. So for me, just working on, calling them immediately, speed to lead. For my sellers, it doesn't work. For my buyers, it works like a charm, and that's where they're very impressed that, hey, thank you for reaching out, but I'm just browsing on your website, and you take it from there, right? So that's how I work with Emily.
Okay,
Emily.
Yeah, 100%, Janky. We don't call any of them. We text them. And lately there's been a rash of posts on the Facebook page about newer agents and rejection. And I guess there's 2 trains of thought to that is, look, we're in real estate. You're going to get rejected.
Yes.
So deal with it. The other is, as Janky touched on, look, these people they're expecting an automated value. They're not expecting somebody to be calling them up immediately. So they're put off by that. And for where I'm coming from, this is a nurturing process. This is systematic. Very few of these leads that you're going to get are ready to pull the trigger and list their property today or tomorrow. And I think if you keep that in mind, you focus more on the nurturing. And I mean, I've had this conversation with Marcus before. We have yet to convert a lead in less than 4 months. And I think the longest has been 8 months from originally getting the lead. So again, I think that calling them is going to put them off more than, as Janky and I both understand, more than providing value over the long term. That's what ultimately will build the relationship with them and get them trusting and liking and knowing you.
Yeah. And another thing, guys, sorry, I can't see you, so please interrupt me. So another thing that works very well for me is and like Jeff says, the average is three for me, it's 3 to 4 months, right? Only because for the seller side, like I said, I don't do many seller ads, but I do a lot of buyer leads and buyer ads. And that's where I get a lot of my sellers from. And for this buyers, it's quick, low hanging fruits. I grab those. My ISAs call them immediately. So with the sellers, it's a follow-up system. It takes time. And even with the buyers, it's slow and steady that wins the race. So if you're not in this for long term, then you're in the wrong place, number one. Number two, if you don't have a follow-up system, processes in place, again, put those in place because that's what works best. If you have an AI or Julie or anything like that, keep tabs of what they're talking about in the back end so you can jump in. And for the newcomers, I see a lot of negative posts on StreetText. My ads are not working. Talk to the right people, talk to support. But if you continuously saying, well, I'm calling them and that they're not doing, they're not answering, they say it's a wrong number, whatever other negativity that you have on the site, on the workplace here, on the insider group, please make sure you understand you're in the selling business. It's feast or famine. All right. So if you want feast all the time, you've got to follow the process. Stop complaining, follow the process and make it for yourself. Otherwise, you're in the wrong business.
That pretty much sums it up. Any plan you put together, complicated or simple, is going to work if you are a great presenter to your clients. That's what it comes down to. And she just pegged it. This is sales. You are in sales. There's no way around it. Hiring ISAs and support team and all that stuff is great at the right time when you have a whole bunch of leads to handle. You still got to be a great presenter, a great salesperson. You got to be really good at customer service, which is what it comes down to, is like she said, coming from a helpful place, coming from contribution, always doing the right thing. When they inquire about home value, that's what they want. They want a home value. They're not ready to talk about listing their home or buying a home. They want the home value and they want to feel like you're there for them, right? So if you take anything away from what I say is this: any plan will work. Just be professional and be really good at your plan that you designed for your business, for your clients.
Yep. I wanted to give a plug for Gabriel's cold calling script classes. So he didn't ask me to do it, but it's fantastic. So just heads up, guys, it's well worth your time.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Yeah. So this is Manish.
Manish.
I have like two sides of the coin, basically, which I have studied because I see a lot of StreetText posts where people are saying that, they are not getting responses. So I will just add to myself and also with my research that I did in the last 45 days to get into StreetText. It is not an ad or a lead generation platform. It is basically a conversation initiation platform, right? So whatever you are doing on to Facebook is just initiating a conversation. Bottom line here is how you take that conversation to become a qualified lead is a process which everybody's talking about right now. So anybody who is into StreetText, like straight away getting a lead, is a little bit like, thinking overboard or thinking into a wrong place to be, as expectations going on. But bottom line here is that if you are onto the StreetText, which I have seen with some people, talk to multiple people around there, or a process over a period of 3 to 6 months, you are able to take out your investment returns, and they're good. Secondly, as a newcomer who is going to join tomorrow, I have another side of a question. So basically, right now, I'm mentally prepared and I'm getting into it. But then bottom line here is when I'm talking to or looking at people who are telling us so many things around what they want to do, is there a particular set of, integration systems that we would need to have the maximum output into the from the StreetText, or is it that the StreetText as a CRM and as a follow-up system is full to do, or do we still need to have attach some other CRMs and some other follow-up systems to have better value? That's a question that I want to ask those experts at the top.
So for me, Manish, I have another CRM that I work very well with. It's just an individual preference. And secondly, it's a numbers game. So one thing I have discovered is it's a numbers game. And what I mean by that to everyone is that how many leads, how many ads are you running? What is the cost per ad that you're putting out there? My ads are from $9 a day to $20 a day. And what kind of what kind of emails are you seeing coming in, full leads coming in? 99% of the time, guys, I'm getting full ads, full leads coming in with the right phone numbers and with the right email addresses. You can even go into my system and you'll see that. So it's a numbers game, and the higher the ads are, dollar values are, or high number of ads that you're running, the more ads that you're running, the more results in due time you will see. So again, it's a numbers game. A lot of you guys have asked me for numbers, and you guys have asked me for my ROI. My ROI on one, if I close one StreetText lead, it's about $22,000 because it's $1 million lead. I was told long time ago not to post numbers here, and that's the reason I don't do it. But if you guys do want to know those numbers, I can definitely have my executive assistant draw those numbers out and post them here. But again, one closed sale is about 22 to 25,000 after the cost of ads or whatever. It comes out to be roughly 22 on one close. We've got 17 transactions in pending at the moment. 17 transactions with getting pre-approvals and getting their homes ready, both combined together. And we are pending on 12 StreetText closings this month. So you guys could do the math on that, but we do our output is out there, but our return of investment is higher with any other business, right?
Yeah, very true.
And if I can, I'll add something just really quickly for you as well, Manish, is that look at the CRM as the mechanism, and you want something that's comfortable to you. So I think that if you don't already have something, as we always say, or as Leon always says, free 99 is best. Look at what you have first. Look at what you have access to before you go elsewhere. So come in, get comfortable with the StreetText system if you don't already have another CRM, and we can go from there. But again, it's mechanism first. So get comfortable with something that you're familiar with, or you can become familiar with using, and then the messaging comes second, and that's using the mechanism you have, putting the right messaging in there. And the same thing I always like to say is that we're always so tied into speed to lead, speed to lead, speed to lead, speed to lead. Great. But quality of content can't be overlooked. We all know that 8 to 12 touches is going to be that range where we need to get people to. They need to see us, text messages, emails, whatever it might be. They need to hear from us a number of times before they're willing to respond oftentimes. And if my first message to them is lacking and void of any personality, what's the likelihood of them opening day 2 or day 3 email, or responding when I finally text them or call them or whatever? We really need to hook them with that first opportunity. So regardless of the CRM you're using, I can't stress or emphasize enough the importance of adding video. I think it's one of the most important things to add, whether it's BombBomb or Dub or Vimeo. There's a bajillion services out there. Lion Desk has its own, built-in internal video, but the ability to introduce yourself right away. Now, granted, not everybody's going to get this, to be fair, right? You're not going to have 100% open rate on your emails, but the people who do open your email, we need to increase the odds that they, see something that they like. Right. So you yourself introducing who you are, how you're going to operate and provide them. Here, I'm going to get you this. All I need in return is this, this, and this, right? Tell me about your home and I'll get you a CMA. Tell me your middle name. I don't care. And I'll put you on HomeBot. Doesn't matter, right? Anything. Ask for something, get something in return. You build that kind of reciprocal process where they ask you for something and you provide value, right? Stuff like that.
Another question, quick one, with the StreetText CRM, like the StreetText login out there, is BombBomb already integrated, or you can integrate? Because I know BombBomb is an open software, you can put in the videos and stuff, but is there a place where you can just put on or load your videos out there in StreetText so that you don't have to really do every time? Like you can do generic ones, right?
It couldn't be easier. Honestly, you do one generic. So again, I wouldn't say, hey, Manish, it's Logan, because you and Jeff and every single person that comes through my funnel will get the exact same video. So I would just start with, hey, this is Logan with Remax Downtown Kelowna, yada, yada, yada. I can give you guys my script if you like. I can put it in the insider group, but here's me, here's who I am, here's what I'm going to do for you, regardless of who they are, and then give them the next step. The next step is this. I need you to give me this so I can get to work on that for you, whatever it is. But again, you want to lead them to the next qualification stage, right? And if they get, for people who are clicking on our realtor ads, what's the likelihood of it being a one-off? What's the likelihood of them only clicking on my home valuation ad and stopping there? Highly unlikely. I always assume that if somebody's clicked on my ad and come in as a lead to my system, they've got messages from 8 to 10 other realtors, most likely over the last 6 months, whatever it might be, because they've been clicking around and looking at stuff. So I just want to make sure the first communication I have separates myself from the rest of them. Right? I'm a real person. I'm actually here to help you. I'm a local small business. This isn't a computer generated report. I'm actually going to get to work on this for you manually in order to provide you the highest level of value. I just need to know yada, yada, yada. Please get back to me with that so I can provide you a CMA, right? There's so many different ways to do this, but find what's comfortable for you. And again, highlight yourself as a real person as quickly and honestly as you can to these individuals.
I know.
That's awesome. Great feedback.
Yeah,
Cynthia,
sure,
you have
appreciate
a
that.
question.
Sorry?
Oh, say Cynthia, go ahead. You have a question there.
Yes, thanks. Okay, so I signed up yesterday, newbie here, in a kind of a techno, not great. So I signed up before systems are in place, and I did that because if I waited till all my systems were in place, I get analysis paralysis and I wouldn't ever sign up. So Linnea encouraged me yesterday with it. I just dove in. I'm just going to do it. So I did that. Now there's a little bit of hyperventilation panic. What is I really want to dive into this. So I'm hearing homebot. I'm hearing BombBomb. I'm hearing all of these things that people are doing. I've never used homebot or BombBomb. What's the best way for me to integrate? I guess, what are people's systems that they're doing? From what I've heard, I think get signed up, let the StreetText do its automation in those things, customize them to what I want to say, add the videos in there. Don't know how to do that, so I'll need help with that. And then the homebot, I don't understand how that, I don't get that piece. Does it directly go there, or
There's so many moving pieces. Give yourself, be patient. Give yourself some grace. Linnea, I know you're here right now, and you are the one that encouraged Cynthia. What would you give her as feedback as she's learning the system? What would you encourage her to start with?
If I were you, I would start with getting your signature uploaded. So the email is automatically there. There you go. Start with the first video. The very first video, what does that one say? If you go into the funnel, what does that one say? And I would create a quick BombBomb. Mine is just something simple. It's like, hey, I'm Linnea. Thanks for requesting your home value. I'm working on it. But what I need from you is to know whether or not you have any additional upgrades to your home. Stay tuned. That's all it says.
Do you
it's
have,
like
Linnea?
20
Okay.
seconds. 20
Okay,
seconds.
perfect. And so when you shoot the video, like if I shoot the video, do you green screen it like we're learning on?
Nope.
You just shoot a video. Do you upload it into BombBomb and then I don't get.
You just upload the BombBomb and then you just you copy it for email. They have an option on the video, copy for email, and put it right in there where you want it to go in the email.
Okay.
So I mean,
I can not only help you with that, but we actually also run every Thursday an automations class where you'll be able to join Ira, who will be able to show you exactly how to do that in a small group setting. And again, we really try to get you guys together as much as we can. Most people are used to the kind of the small group trainings now, and we try to have a class for everything. And integrations and automations, I think, is something that's huge. So the ability to not only how do you put in a BombBomb video, but maybe we can cover the script a little bit, what you should say, because it needs to be personalized to you, who you are, your market expectations, all sorts of things. And it really is, it's a promotional piece of you, right? So again, I can share my script, Linnea's script's great, everything like that. But the most important thing is to get an understanding of what everybody's doing and then really interpret that to yourself. What do I want to say? What makes Cynthia tick? Let's get that out there and make sure that it's your voice. And same thing, it's the same thing as when you're writing mailers. I don't like templates. I don't like copy paste, because when somebody's reading my email, they're reading my mailer, whatever it might be, I want it to be the same cadence that I typically speak, the same words that I use. So when we get on the phone or I meet them in person, it's not a complete, detour from the person they thought they were meeting. It's actually my voice. And you can typically, when you write these things up yourself, you will find, I find anyways, that it seems more personable as to, as opposed to just simply copy paste something from somebody else. But again, the power of groupthink is that you can see and hear what other people are doing and then analyze and interpret and make it your own.
Yeah, I love that. That helps me a lot.
Going back to your question, Jackie, if I'm in her account already, it's as easy as clicking edit on that ad you're running, edit funnel, going right into that funnel, looking for the first email that sends out, clicking on it, and then what you would do is essentially you'd go, if you had the BombBomb extension on your Google Chrome, it literally just drops down right there. You click the video that you're going to put in there. This is how easy it can be for you. And then you just throw a copy for email, and I would do my Command V, and bam, my video is in my email. I click save, and there it is. That's how easy it can be.
Awesome. Okay, fabulous. And so you said on Thursdays, there's a class for things like integrate automation class?
Log into your StreetText dashboard. I don't know, Marcus, if you want to screen share, but either way, log into your StreetText dashboard, go to the very front page, the main screen, and you'll see a little section that's for helpful resources. Within the helpful resources button, you'll see obviously the Mastermind recordings, recent webinars we've done with LCA and other places, but most importantly, in my eyes, book a class.
Okay.
Right? Hit where it says book a class there. And then, for instance, my custom ad workshop, I help you guys, sharpen up your ideas and help you put them into play using the custom forms and templates, leveraging automations, which is just to the right of that, which is what we're talking about now. If you click into leveraging automations, you'll see all of the dates and times where that particular session goes live and is available. So you can book into any of these classes. They become a Facebook lead generation machine in 30 minutes. That's a great place to start for anybody who's brand new to StreetText and you're just, beginning your trial. You'll get to come on, you meet your coach, go through a bunch of stuff there. Obviously, the Facebook lead conversion, if you need a little bit of help there. The Mastermind, obviously, we're all here. This is a great place to be. Ad performance with Troy is fantastic. And then obviously the domains help if you need help with that part. But we've got classes for darn near everything that you need.
Okay, and when I want to come on to like the Mastermind next week, do I need to sign up every week for that and then I get a Zoom link, or is there just a regular Zoom link?
It's the same link every year, so we change it annually, obviously, but this same link will get you into next week's. However, most of our classes do not function that way. They are usually as a one-off. However, this is one rolling meeting. So if you save this meeting link, it'll be good until January of next year.
Awesome. Thank you. D. Jones and then Peter.
Hey, are the templates or like the drip campaigns, are they very like basic, like vanilla for the different ads?
I'd say for the most part, yes. And regardless of the content that's currently in there, I always, as I kind of, I'll echo what I said earlier, get in there. It doesn't matter what the current success rate is. It's not your words. So I would go in and make some subtle adjustments regardless. I like to have the framework in place so you can get in there and see what is what, obviously. But it is important in my eyes to go in and personalize it regardless of what's in there. But yeah, in terms of vanilla content, yeah, that's pretty much what it is. We kind of try to keep it as standardized as possible so that you can kind of, again, interpret it, make your own adjustments. But yeah, they're pretty standard and straightforward currently as the.
Are there any other template ideas? I know you have to pay for Janky's because I'm sure she has different templates, but are there any other template ideas that are within the portal?
Absolutely. We've got, I think, 40 some odd templates, and something that we aim to do is build new stuff all the time. And in fact, that's the goal of my custom ad workshop, is for people to bring ideas. Hey, I would love this idea, or I'd love for this to be a thing. And then we kind of reverse engineer and build something, and then we beta test it, get people through the insider group. Typically, we say, we've got a new ad, who wants to try this? Everybody puts up their hand. We start building it in their accounts for them, show you guys again on my custom ad workshop how to build it yourself. And then then once we find, a relative success rate, then we template them in. The most recent templates, we've got 2 now that are downsize ads, so empty nester kind of ads. That have been working fantastically well. For anybody on this call who's been running those, put your hand up if it's working well for you. But we've seen a lot of success with those ones, and that's essentially what we do. Is again, we're always looking to grow and build on our current database of ads. And you guys are our best resource. You bring us what you guys would like to see, what you think might work. We can build it into something for you or with you, and test it out. And if it works, then we build a template out of it.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Welcome.
Awesome. Peter.
Yeah, quick question. It might have been answered in the chat for me, but you keep referring to BombBomb. Is that the only way we can upload videos into StreetText? Do we have to have BombBomb?
You don't have to have BombBomb by name. You will need a third-party service that does provide video. And the reason for it is that we're not a hosting service. So the free alternative would be, and this is something I can't discourage you strongly enough against. However, you could, as a free alternative, use YouTube, upload your video as an unlisted form on YouTube, put the YouTube link in. That's going to create a number of huge issues for you, first and foremost.
I'll just use BombBomb. It's all right.
Yeah, I won't go through too deep into it, but that's something I would have.
That's all I needed to know. I just wanted to be why you told me we're set. All right. Thank you very much.
There are alternatives, and what I'd challenge everybody to do, if anybody wants to in the insider group, just go in and put in your video service that you're currently using, BombBomb, Dub, Vimeo, whatever it is that you guys are using for your hosting services. If you guys wouldn't mind, go and put it in the insider group so that everybody has an idea of who's using what, and we can start kind of helping people choose what's going on. I would suggest the majority of the individuals here are using BombBomb, but again, we're not tied to that in any way, shape, or form, just any kind of hosting site.
Thank you.
Carmen. You had your hand up, go ahead.
Hi, yes. So I started to kind of polish up on my automations, and I also put all of my leads in my CRM, and just found out that if I turn off an ad for whatever reason, if it's not working and I need to get something going, the funnel obviously stops, right? So what is the recommendation for people that have been doing this for a while? Like how much time and dedication really goes to play with the funnel that's already provided? Or should I just kind of play more with my specific CRM so that they both mesh? Like what are people focusing on mostly to have a better?
Well, Carmen, are you funneling your leads into your CRM, or are you just working? Oh, well then I would build my action plans in my CRM.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it makes sense. I was just spending so much time over here, and then I'm like, and now it's crashing, and got it. Simple CRM. Thank you.
Yeah, and that's a question, and Logan or Marcus, you can address. I mean, this has been talked about before. Is it doesn't matter whether you use StreetText as your CRM or you have a separate CRM. Personally, I don't want to use both because now I've got leads in 2 separate CRMs. So for me, it's just more convenient to email parse all my leads directly into Follow Up Boss, my CRM, where I can put them on their respective action plans. But there's nothing wrong with StreetText CRM if you don't have one you're working with and you're comfortable with right now.
So are you
comfortability is everything.
In Street and just relying on your own CRM? Is that it?
Yeah, all my StreetText leads automatically go directly into Follow Up Boss, where they trigger an action plan depending on what the tag is.
And you don't use the StreetText funnel at all?
I do not.
Thank you.
It's everyone has their own way. Jennifer, Linnea,
I use the funnel.
Wendy, yeah, you guys have spent.
I use the funnel.
Lots of time in your funnel and automations.
Yeah, they're also going into my CRM Follow Up Boss, which is a good way to, keep in contact with them later. But like this one is already set up for you. So why redo it and just go in and just customize, humanize, make it you, put your videos in, put your language in. Like I use awesome in mine because I say that a lot, and sweet. So, and then they don't feel like it's a robot. So I would definitely do that. but still they're all going to go into Follow Up Boss or your CRM, wherever they're going. So you'll still have them. They're still going to be the sources, StreetText. You can search by that, so if you want to do anything with that, as far as like export all of them out to do an audience, to retarget, stuff like that. I mean, you can do all of that still, but the funnel in StreetText, I just love it. So I use it for all the seller ones. The buyer ones, they're going right to my website, to the link that I put in there, like as far as pool homes in Las Vegas, stuff like that. And then that AI retargets them. So
I think it's also important to understand where your current lead flow is coming from. Like if you're using StreetText 100% for your leads, where a lot of people currently are, well then, everything's going to funnel into the same place anyways, you're good. If you've got, multiple lead sources from other places coming in, well, we're not really importing leads into our system right now. So those are going to have to go to another CRM, at which time, kind of like Jeff was mentioning, then you're kind of going here and then here and then here and then here. At that time, maybe that makes sense to have a more central location that everything flows into one point. However, yeah, like I said, if you're using StreetText primarily, I just start there, start here, with the system, build off it with what we have. And then if you find you need more, purchase more later. But again, always use what you have access to and you're paying for first before you look elsewhere. That would be my recommendation.
Got it. Thank you so much, everyone.
Denise.
Hi, just real quick, I just wanted to ask, so I have leads that came from Sync, buyer leads, and I just wanted to find out, is there a way that I can, I guess, to do like a retarget ad? And if I missed this, I apologize, but is there a way I can do a retarget ad to those leads through StreetText?
We're actually working on a retargeting ad, and it'll be coming soon to StreetText. So we'll just have to wait.
Okay. Thank you.
But it will be coming soon, and it'll be really easy to set up, because currently right now retargeting is not super easy to set up. But once we get our system in place, it'll be really nice and easy for you guys to do retargeting ads.
Okay. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, guys, this is kind of coming towards the end of the mastermind here. We want to thank you for participating. Hope you got some valuable content. I also want you to think about one thing that you're going to take away from this mastermind today, and do it, even if it's just one thing. And
I'm going to shoot something. Oh,
yeah,
go ahead, Marcus. Sorry about that. So one thing I want to shoot out there. In the beginning, someone had said they don't do sporting teams and stuff like that. Totally get it. But the 12 seller tips, 12 seller mistakes is already in the insider group posted. I recommend emailing that out to everybody. Follow that up with a text message, making sure they got it. Because this way they're getting something, like Jenky said, something of value from you at no cost. And so your follow-up is just ensuring they got it. And then, like I said, not everybody does everything, but if you go through the insider group, you look at the documents, there's so much material in there that there's something for everybody that should fit what you want to do for what you're sending out. And the bottom line, at the end of the day, the only mistake is to do nothing at all. And, I always shop $3.99. I'll never get away from that. So the thought at the end of the day, go look in there, go play in there, grab what you want, send it out to everybody, not only in your StreetText list, send it to all your people, period, because what you're looking to do is get engagement. And, that idea about the taxes coming out and assessment, throw that in there with this 12 seller tips and ask them if they want the updated value on their home based on the assessment, and see what they get.
love it. Thanks, Leon. Dropping wisdom like always.
I want to piggyback off of that and say there is no right or wrong way. We are all individuals, and that's why we do things differently. Everybody does things their way, and that's the best way, because you're going to do it.
Love it.
Yeah, and then the one final thing I'll add to that, Leon always has great things to say. Just like whatever you're doing to follow up your way, you have to be consistent with it. Like I just posted yesterday that I just booked my 7th listing appointment, but you better believe that's not the first time I talked to those people. It's not the first time they ever heard from me. It's because I was consistent. I followed up with them. The one I just booked yesterday, I mean, the first time I talked to her was back in October. I mean, she just got, it was consistent, and the fortune is in the follow-up. So like, you know, use StreetText as a way to build that list, to like make contact with them, and then follow up with them, because if you're not following up with them, then you're wasting your money.
Question on follow-up. StreetText doesn't have a follow-up method integrated in the system as yet. So if we're going to keep them in that CRM, what is the method we're going to be using with the follow-up? We're just going to take them out and then send them from a regular email. What do you recommend?
What do you mean as far as they don't have a system in place for follow-up?
I heard someone that said the follow-up is not there yet, follow-up campaigns.
No, I mean, depending on which template you select, we have a long-term nurture process for the majority of our templates. Now, if you're building something like a custom ad, obviously we won't have a nurture program or anything set up for that. However, the majority of our typical templates, absolutely, there are emails and text message campaigns that are already set up in terms of mechanism, and you can get in and manage the, make some edits to them and stuff. But absolutely, all of our best ads have drip campaigns already set up.
Yeah, so well, you'll get a 9-month drip campaign right out the go with the seller campaign, and same with the buyer. And then you also have access to a text conversation starter, Julie, which is like a personal AI that is like your assistant on steroids, and she'll make sure she's staying up to date with everybody. So that's all built right into StreetText. That's accessible to you. Good to go. And you can extend those out as long as you want. You could make a 24-month. You could make a 3-year drip campaign if you want to. And the great part about that is that as people are coming through your drip, if you keep extending it month after month, you're just staying in contact and you're building the number of people that you're like reaching out to and speaking to every single day. Day after day, think how much it's going to be huge for your business. So that's all built in, ready to go.
Gotcha. I probably misunderstood. I'm driving, so I probably misunderstood. Yeah. So thanks. I appreciate it, guys. And the 7-day trial period, you'd have to have actually set up and put stuff into place before you even start it.
One thing that we actually recommend, and this is we had a question on this earlier as well. If you're not 100% confident in the systems, or you want to make sure you know exactly what's being sent before you send anything, come in, sign up for your trial, get all that ready to go, but then don't run any ads. Or if it makes you run an ad, which it'll get you to launch one, pause it. Right? Come to the classes, take as much time as you need before you run your ads to, meet with the team, meet with some of the people, come to these masterminds. And then when you're ready to go, when you feel, hey, I've got my systems in place now, great. Let your guide know, and we'll be able to reset your trial clock for you and let you start running ads from that point forward after you've kind of made those necessary edits to the platform, the system, to make sure that you get the most out of it. That's not a problem at all.
Thanks, guys. You're awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for your time. Thanks for your help.
Thanks, William.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
And thank you, everybody. Yeah, we'll let you go. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining the Mastermind. And anything that you want more of, that you got from here, that you want to tell us, throw it into the StreetText Insider group, post it in the discussion feature, and we'll get back to you. One of our people will reach out. Thanks again.
Thank you so much.